näeme intervjuud kuulsa Inglise intuitsiooniõpetaja Anne Jirshiga. Anne viis Tallinnas läbi 2-päevase seminari, kus ta õpetas intuitsiooni. Seminarile oli kogunenud ligi 300 inimest. Anne'i teeneid kasutavad paljud kuulsad ärimehed ja ta on ka oodatud oma teadmiste ja oskuste poolest Inglise kuningakojas. Seminari aitas läbi viia Anne'i õpilane Kreet Rosin. Kreet õppis Londonis Anne'i juures nii intuitsiooni kui ka nii nimetatud tulevikku teraapiat.
Intuition, I think it's that part of ourselves where we know something. It's a natural, maybe it's a primitive thing. You know, our ancestors would not have survived if they didn't use their intuition. Some cultures call it the old man in their head that speaks to them. Others listen to their dreams, or they'll know where the animals roam because that's their food. I mean, today we know there's going to be food in the shops and water coming out the taps, so we don't listen to our instincts. And that's why we get caught out, and sometimes things happen that really shock us because we're not prepared. So it's a natural thing within us. Sometimes the information seems to come from outside of us, so as if we can tap into something. And there's been a lot of research, a lot of scientific research, where they show that it's almost as if things are floating out there on the etheric, in the energy, and some people can tap into it, which is how telepathy works. A more recent way of using the energy that's out there is future life progression, where I actually relax people and take them forward in time. And that has turned out to be incredibly accurate, where we've looked at the future of countries, of people. We've seen who people are going to be married to. They've seen where they're going to be working or the best place to buy a property. So that is a big step forward, and I'm about to write a 4th book and take the whole concept of future life a big step forward, where we start to take more control over our reality. I think it helps you stop wasting time, stop going down the wrong road. Since I've used future life progression, I know exactly what to do and where to go. Give an example. I looked at myself in 5 years' time. I know exactly what countries I'm going to be doing well in. So I won't waste any time going to the wrong countries. I used to do a lot of radio work. I stopped all my radio work because I could see it didn't really lead me anywhere. I know what books to write because I can look in the future and see them in my hand, know what's in them. The advantage is it stops you wasting, and we waste a lot of time in life on the wrong things. We stop wasting time. We put all our energy into the right thing. That alone will change everything. It will change everything in your life.
Some people have like a difficulty to relax.
Yeah, some people can find it difficult to relax. The other thing is they sometimes are trying really hard to see. And they're not necessarily a seeing person, they might be more feeling, or they might just have thoughts. And also the brain tries to make sense of things. Everything that happens, the brain will try and understand it. It's if that lady out there suddenly floated 10 foot up in the air, our brain would be thinking, well, she can't float, she must be on string. The brain will always try to work out things, even things it doesn't understand. And the brain will say, you can't see the future, you can't see who you're going to be married to, or how your business is, or a house that you've never seen. You can't see that. So the brain will, so you have to get rid of that logical part of the brain and say, whatever comes to me, I'm going to take it. Right or wrong, I'm going to take it and see what happens. And the only proof you get is when it happens. You have to wait and see. But it's getting rid of the logical brain. But what I always say to people is, just go with it. Just let the ideas come to you. It probably isn't going to be what you expect. If we'd have done this 10 years ago and looked at you now, you probably wouldn't expect yourself to be in the situations you're in now. So if people just let themselves go, it will come to them.
Minu nimi on Karin Liljenberg ja ma töötan Tallinna Tervishoiu Kõrgkooli tegevusteraapia õppetooli juhataja lektorina. kindlasti on tegemist tõenduspõhise meditsiini õpetamise ja tervishoiu õpetamisega selles koolis, aga intuitsioon, ma ütleksin, et mina ei ole seda kunagi võtnud kui ebateadust, ta on minus olemas olnud. Minu meelest see intuitsioon ei peakski olema põlu all või mingisugune alternatiiv, ta lihtsalt on. Ma ei oska enda puhul alati öelda, et see on nüüd intuitsioon, mida ma järgin, isegi võib-olla see loogika ütleb ka midagi ette, aga ma enam ei mõtle selle peale, et see otsus oli vale, mis ma tegin. Et kui ma ühe valiku teen, siis ma olen selle valikuga rahul. Et oli palju valikuid ja siis antakse mulle kindlasti võimalus jälle järgmine kord uut valikut teha ja siis ma jälle valin ja olen sellega rahul. Et see on andnud pigem sellise sisemise rahutunde, et ükskõik mida sa teed, sa astud edasi ja kõik läheb korda.
A lot of it is just, sometimes there's a restaurant you go to a lot. Then one day you just say to yourself, I don't fancy that going there today. That is intuition, and it is stopping to think, why? It is often just hesitating and thinking, why? Why did I then just stop? Why don't I fancy driving that way to work? What is that little thing? When you've been looking for a house, you're going to move, you're going somewhere, you walk in the door, as you walk down the steps, you know that's your house. You don't measure up the rooms, you feel it. And if you stop and think, what is that feeling? Where do I feel it? What is it? Then you'll start to use your intuition and you'll start to think, that's how I feel when something's not right. Most business people do already do this. What is that feeling when I feel this is going to be good? And there's that little something in you when you say, I've got a good feeling about this. When you start to think, well, what is that feeling? And is it a tingle? Is it a warmth? Where do you feel it in your body? And once you know, you'll recognize it next time, even a tiny part. And once you start to use that, you'll be aware of it. Every time you go, oh, I've got my lucky feeling, or I've got my be careful feeling. Once you know that, you'll be able to use it all the time. They've done lots of studies and found the people at the top are far more liable to use their intuition. Bosses usually use their intuition. They've done masses of studies and they found people at the top. You listen to the rich and famous, they usually say, big businessmen like Donald Trump say, I use my intuition, I use my gut feeling, then I check the figures. People at the lower levels don't use their intuition as much. People who don't get above the middle usually look too much at facts and figures and don't use the gut feeling more. So yes, if they all used it, you'd have a team of champions, wouldn't you? It's got to help the company.
Minu nimi on Viivian Nunt, ma pean Viivian Vau-Kinga salongi. Ma alustasin ettevõtlusega 6 aastat tagasi. Nagu ikkagi ilmselt noored ettevõtjad püüavad järgida rohkem seda, nagu raamatutes on. Ja mida aasta edasi, seda rohkem olen hakanud järgima seda oma enda kõhutunnet. See kord, kui ma tundsin, et kuidagi ma olen selles infovoos, et ma ei analüüsi, vaid tean, siis see kollektsioon oli kõige edukam. See oli nüüd hiljuti ja see mind on väga palju tiivustanud. Ja nagu öeldakse, et keha ei valeta. Siis mida paremini sa iseendast saad aru, seda lihtsam on. Ja seda kiiremini sa saad aru olukordadest ja kuidas otsustada ja mida teha.
Well, I've looked a lot at the future and it actually turns out pretty good. I think the human race starts to grow up. I think we're children now. We're like children. And I think over the next 100, 200 years, we mature, we grow up, we work together more. I've looked at our future selves and we're more interested in connecting with other people. Now we've got this division and don't like them because of this, don't like them because of that. We're all much more connected and we don't worry about what we've got. We don't worry about the materials so much. We're not so needy with relationships if we're with somebody great, but if we're not, we're okay. So I think the world itself gets a lot cleaner. And one of the things that I saw was, this was probably about 8 years ago, and I put it in my second book, that I saw that the air becoming a lot cleaner, and it was something that will be devised in Norway. I don't know why I felt Norway would lead the way in finding a way to almost clean the air. I don't know how, but I just had that feeling the pollution will be better. there will come a time when we don't use money, and that will stop a lot of problems. So I think the world will be a lot better. I've seen it, and it will be a lot better, a lot easier than it is now. I've tapped into Estonia. One of the reasons I was happy to come here, I think Estonia is going to be wealthy. I had the feeling of a discovery, and it's just off the coast. I mean just off, within 5 miles of the coast. It might be oil, or I just know it's a natural resource, and there's a lot of it. And I think that's going to make Estonia very, very wealthy. So I think there's going to be some interesting things to do with technology here. But I think there's definitely a natural resource that will make Estonia. And what I also think is with Estonia, they're not going to let too many people come here. A lot of countries have too many people, and that creates, people get fearful when there's too many people. I think Estonia will have new people come here, but not too many. So it will have a nice feel to it. There'll be harmony, good harmony.
Mina olen Mihkel ja olen ettevõtja. Ma arvan, et intuitsioon on asi, mis kindlasti aitab kiiremaid otsuseid teha ja tihtipeale õigeid otsuseid teha. Et mul on see tunne juba ammu olnud sees, et kui ma koolis olin, et seal keskendutakse ainult nagu sellele ülemise osale siin peas ja ka siis ainult ühele ajupoolkerale. Et tegelikult on elu koosneb väga rohkem dimensioone on kui ainult faktide meelest pidame, mida koolis õpetatakse, et ma tahaksin jõuda sinnamaani, kus koolis keskendutakse ka hingele ja kehale rohkem ja kus ei ole mitte ainult teadmised olulised, vaid kogemused ja oskused ja tehnikad. Ma usun, Eesti on piisavalt väike riik, kus võiks olla nagu mitte, me võiks olla maailma 5 rikkama riigi hulgas, vaid maailma kõige õnnelikum riik. Ehk siis me suudaks nagu viia oma inimesed sinna seisundisse, kus nad tunnevad jõukust ja küllust nende sees. Ma arvan, et see juhtub 10 aasta pärast.
Well, once we start to realise that energy controls everything, have you ever had a day when you felt fine, then somebody said something horrible and it ruined your whole day? That's your energy dropping. So you learn techniques to keep your energy good. You know what it's like if you meet positive people, you want to work with them, you want to be around them. People that have good energy just are a magnet to everything. That they have that sort of charisma, that verve about them, and they get luckier. So when your energy is low, things start to go wrong, and even machines can start to break. Have you ever noticed when you're stressed, machines break? It's crazy, isn't it? So when you get your energy good, life flows. The lights are green at the traffic light. People are good to you. You get lucky. So it is everything. Energy is everything. It's absolutely everything. Even where there's nothing, there's energy. And when you connect with that energy, your mind gets good, your mind gets clear, you make things happen. You can even use your energy to tap out, touch somebody on the shoulder and feel what they're feeling. You can use it for anything.